All right, welcome everyone. We're here today with Nick Stone, your 2021 IFA World Arm Wrestling Championship winner in the super heavyweight category, former Arnold Classic powerlifting champion, and all around good dude. How you doing, Nick?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for taking your time to do this interview. Nick's one of the hottest up-and-comers in the country right now. Obviously, taking first place at pretty tough competition, the IFA Worlds down in Orlando this year. What's your next tournament, Nick? What's on the books for you?
I'm thinking about doing Pennsylvania coming up. I just found out that originally I thought the rules were IFA or something like that. But
Yeah.
I just found out it's UAL set up so that I still might do that.
Yeah.
Upsetting, you know what I mean?
It's
I
tough.
think it'd be good.
Yeah, every tournament you go to has different rules. That's one of the problems in the sport. Where there's not consensus on running fouls, whether it's a ref's grip or the set grip. It's tricky.
Yeah.
So what's your preference?
My preference is just anything where your hands are closed, before you say ready, go. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't like having hands open.
Yeah.
I feel like, just it's too much slipping.
Right.
I mean, I like watching it. I love watching it. WL. It's
Right. The entertainment.
I don't like competing.
Yeah. Fair enough, man. Totally get it. So I prepared a list of questions here. Just gonna go into your background a little bit, how you found the sport, a little bit of your training, nutrition. I mean, when it comes to strength, you're the guy. You've done it in multiple different strength sports. So I think there's a lot to learn, and let's get into it here. So the first question I have is, how did you first get involved with strength training and ultimately powerlifting? Like, what was the first dumbbell or barbell you lifted?
The first weight I ever lifted.
Yeah.
I can't remember how old I was. I made maybe I don't know, 13, 14, something, maybe young,
Okay.
12 maybe.
Yep.
Uh,
And what was the setting there? Was it just at your house? Did your friends drag you to a gym?
I was over at a friend's house.
Okay.
And their older brother was working out with his friend. Walked downstairs.
Yep.
Let's try to lift this. And the weight was 70 pounds.
Okay. I bet it felt like impossible. Right?
And I just, boom, I just got.
Oh, you ripped it. Okay.
Couldn't lift 70 pounds.
Yep.
And then, I didn't lift for a little bit. Got into high school, started lifting, started playing sports.
Okay.
Then I started lifting. My high school had a weightlifting team. It was
Nice.
kind of powerlifting, but instead of doing deadlift, they did power clean, so squat, back
Okay.
power clean.
Okay, so you got introduced to your big compound lifts.
Yeah.
Was it football or?
Yeah, I played football for
Yep.
a couple years.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then at some point you must have said, "Hey, I'm gifted. I'm good at this," and kind of sent it with the powerlifting. Was that after high school, or did you start to transition more towards the powerlifting during high school?
Yeah, definitely. After high school is when I transitioned. I started lifting on my own. I really
Yep.
enjoyed powerlifting. I always enjoyed it. I always enjoyed, you'd always see yourself getting better. I always enjoyed, it's very, compared to bodybuilding, it's very, you can tell who's the actual winner.
Right.
You know, someone's opinion. So I always like that part.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what's interesting about bodybuilding. It's totally subjective,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports like that. Some like it, some don't, but I get it. With powerlifting, you either lift more than the other guy or you don't. It's pretty black and white. So what was your first powerlifting meet? When was that?
My first actual powerlifting meet was in Waterbury. I want to say 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say it was a APA association, so it was pretty well run meet.
Right.
It was a good time. I can't remember what I totaled. Maybe 1600, maybe some reason 1635.
That's a lot of weight for your first meet.
Yeah, I was probably 18 or 19 years old.
Right.
Probably 300 pounds.
Yeah. Right.
It's
And yeah, what was your weight around that time?
probably 290, 300 probably.
290, 300, and how tall are you again?
Probably 6 foot, 6'1" maybe.
Okay, yeah, nice. And then, so that was 18, 19. Yeah, right. And then, when was your first Arnold Classic?
That was in 2019. I qualified early 2000. No, I qualified I think end of 2018, and that was in March of 2019.
Okay. All right, so you would have been how old there? 25, 24? Trying to do the math here.
24. Yeah,
Okay.
I was 24, and then 10 days later I turned 25 or something like that.
That is remarkable. So from your first meet to winning the Arnolds in 5 years, that is something. Can you talk about that moment? What was it like to be on that stage and, I mean, win?
I mean, I felt really good. But
I hope so.
Food poisoning, so I felt awesome winning. But,
Right.
I lost 25 to 30 pounds.
That's the worst, man. That is the worst. What an awful time to get food poisoning.
Yep.
And what do you think did that? Was it some bad sushi? What's the story there?
The only thing I can think of is I put some lemon in a water, and I was the only one to get sick, and I was the only one to put lemon in water, so I think it was the lemon.
The lemons. You know, someone probably sabotaged you, man. Handed you some old dirty ass lemon and. Yeah, hey, it's a dirty world, man. Sweet. Okay, so we got a little bit of your powerlifting background, and talk to me about the transition into arm wrestling. When did you see your first table? Were you always, beating people in bar rooms and lunch tables? What's the story there?
The first time I didn't see a table. The first time I actually knew arm wrestling was a sport was actually at Arnold. One of the guys helped me after he finished helping me.
Yep.
He went to go play some competition, and I didn't see it, but I remember him talking about it. But actually, 3 weeks before the Arnold, I had a lower back injury, so I decided to take a little break.
Okay.
And, same guy, actually, it's Wacko. That's the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He was telling me he was gonna go. He was arm wrestling with a team, arm benders.
Yep. Connecticut.
He's a good coach.
That's right.
Practice with them, and then I was like, because my back was bothering me. I couldn't really lift heavy. I just wanted something to train intensely for.
Right.
I just thought, what the hell? This should be fun. You go to practice, and next thing I know, I'm getting beat by a little 160-pound, 60-pound dude.
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
Yep.
He's just, shooting text messages off.
We've all been there, Nick. We've all been there. So, yeah. My first practice was up in Boston, and I walk in. I've never seen an arm wrestling table in my life, and I'm like, I didn't even know it was a sport. This is crazy. And the coach up there, the host of the practice, Josh Grant, says, "Oh, why don't you warm up with?" He points over to a table with someone standing there, and it's an 80-year-old man. And I'm like, here I am. I'm 6'3", 250 pounds. And I'm like, I have grandparents that age. I don't arm wrestle with them. I'm gonna hurt them. This is crazy. Well, it was Norm Devio, and I got my ass whooped, man. What a wake-up call. Dude, he cracked my wrist like a peanut, dude. I was like, what just happened? So, I get it, man. I get it. That was a long walk home. It blew my mind. I mean, it is just the levels of this sport are crazy, Because I didn't know what a pronator was walking into that practice. But I knew what it was walking out of the practice, I'll tell you. So, yeah, that's funny, man. And were you a natural at arm wrestling? Did you pick it up quickly, or what's your story like there?
I feel like because I had a good level of strength, I feel like I did pretty good just for being strong.
Yeah.
And when I finally met someone that was could level the playing field with either strength or technique,
yep.
That's when it gave me a chance. All right, I'm not actually arm wrestling. I'm just kind of muscling things.
Right.
But I would say I feel pretty good. I feel like I got a pretty good flow to the table. I feel like things come to me pretty quick.
Right. And do you think the powerlifting helps you in that regard? Did it make you more conditioned, your tendons stronger, or do you think you started from the same level zero as everyone?
I would say certain areas, I think it would help.
Okay.
Depending, I think the deadlift would help in terms of just overall hand strength.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just stronger fingers, stronger hand. Maybe not wrist flexion, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
in terms of just a grip, I think that's a deadlift would be the carryover. In terms of bench press,
Yep.
I like to think side pressure, but I think the bench, in my opinion, the bench press, the side pressure transfer is only center table, about halfway down.
Right.
And then that side pressure is all arm wrestle and side pressure.
Right. Yeah, I got you. The finishing last few inches is totally new movement.
Yeah.
And so you found arm benders, started training with Ron Armini, that crew. When did they throw you into your first tournament? Which one was that?
Well, I think it was. I decided to. I heard someone talking about it, and they said some people were going down, and I was. I think I did a practice, and I think I did a tournament the week after.
Okay.
Or two. Something.
Your
like
first
that.
practice, then a tournament the week after?
Either I can't remember. It was either 1 or 2 weeks. So it was either my second or third weekend.
Wow, they really threw you in there, man. And how'd it go? How'd you do? I assume you did amateurs, right?
Yeah, I did the amateur. I did pretty good. It was a small tournament. The
Yeah.
Ronnie Bean Classic.
Okay.
So I only had maybe 6, 7 opponents each
Right.
hand. Right hand I came in second. Left hand I came in first.
Okay.
But that's what it was. Left hand, they didn't have that many people, so they put all the weight classes together. So by the time I got to the first, second place,
Right.
round, I was, I think 160 pounds,
Yeah.
170 pounds.
Nice. That's impressive. So first and second in your first tournament, man. Not too shabby. How many people were in your right hand class? You said they probably didn't combine that one.
Maybe 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
But the difference is they were all heavyweights. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
similar size.
I see. Awesome. And how would you describe your style, and has it evolved since you started?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, my original thought was, I understood that it was a tennis sport, it was a bone sport, so my thought is I'm going to put it on the biggest, if I'm going to overload something, it's
Yep.
going to be the biggest tendon. So I wanted
Makes
to
sense.
instead of putting an elbow, I wanted to put it on the biceps, so I
Yeah.
got back pressure, like dragging. But as, you went by, 2 years went by, I developed my elbow better
Mm-hmm.
and started to feel more comfortable going inside.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I got a little sloppy with that super match. I think we talked about before. I tweaked my elbow, so I think that little injury is gonna make me go, a lot more pronation, a lot more back pressure.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's still good.
that's good. Yeah, it's funny how Devin Laird has a similar story. He got injured and then was forced to develop other aspects of his game. And I think everyone ends up following that path. In arm wrestling, you're gonna get hurt. Someone's gonna hit when you're not ready, or something's gonna go. So I always tell new people, don't totally commit to one style, because like you said, as your body gets more acclimated to all the different forces and vectors of force that happen on the table, things get stronger, right? Like when I started, I was all outside pulling, and then one day I went inside, and that weird pain on the inside of my elbow just wasn't there anymore. So I think it's important to be well-rounded, train everything, and I also think there's more crossover than people think. If you're training, your riser or your pronation, it's going to help you even deepen a hook. It's not as black and white where you're either a top roller or you're a hooker, no crossover. Do you agree with that? Has that been your experience?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Your hook gets better. Your top roll will get better because it's going to be harder for you to get put into a hook.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sweet. All right, next up here, I want to know about your experience at IFA Worlds. So, tell me about that. Was it walk in the park for you? How was the tournament run? Was it fun? Was it intense? And of course, how did it feel to win it in the super heavies at that?
Yeah, I mean, the whole entire, I got there a couple, 3-4 days ahead.
Yep.
Chilled out, relaxed, get used
Yeah.
to it, and everything. So I had some fun there, just, chilling out.
Mhm.
We did left hand first. I was more nervous on the left hand, because that was the first time I ever, competed IFA.
Right.
It felt pretty good. I think the biggest mistake I made was I got over aggressive, and I to the point where my timing was off.
Okay. Yep.
And but yeah, the first day was good. Left hand I came fourth.
Okay.
So that was a good time. But the next day, as soon as I woke up, right hand, I just woke up and I knew I was just going for it. I felt after experience all how the rules are going to be, how the reps are going to be.
That's right.
More confident.
Yep.
And just the first match, I can't remember his name, but I felt so strong that day. He false started. He hit my wrist. I didn't move. He thought I hit him.
That's not a good sign when that happens. So you knew it was going to be good.
Yeah, so he reversed it, so that was good.
Yep.
And then I got the pin, and then I did feel like I had a pretty good bracket in terms of my opponents. At least the first two matches, I finished very, very fast.
Yeah.
So I feel like that helped me a lot.
Yeah, there's always the luck of the draw. Was it Carl Stanley? Who was your? I'm trying to think who your first match was. Obviously, I was there with you. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember his name. He was an older gentleman.
Okay, so not Carl.
He did the Masters as well.
Yep.
I can't remember his name.
Okay. But yeah, it was a pretty deep class. I think we had like 20 plus people in there.
Yeah, I think I had like maybe 6-7 matches, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was no joke. So yeah, I think you went undefeated, right? You never got sent to the B side. You went straight through.
That was very surprised that happened.
Yep.
One time I got close. My first match with Carl Stanley.
Yeah.
I got my wrist in there, but he ended up opening me up.
I remember.
I was opened up, and once I was opened up, I just tried going straight side pressure, and I think that was the second foul.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, now I remember. I remember he. What did he say after that? He goes, "I'm coming for you. I'm going to get you." That fired me up.
Hell yeah! Yep. Yeah, that was a war. I remember you stopped right above the pin pad, hung out there for a minute, took your time, and brought it back. And then I think that probably burned him out because you met again in the finals, and I don't remember it being as close as your first match with him.
No, definitely. And I also think the big match you had with him definitely
That's right.
came out too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you owe me for that, by the way. You can get me like ice cream or something.
Triple scoop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the little gift for wearing out, Carl. Yeah, so and then standing on the podium, holding the flag. Did it feel familiar? Did it feel like when you won the Arnold's, minus the food poisoning, or was it
I mean, I felt it was similar but different. I felt a lot. I liked having the flag behind me. I felt that was good. But it feels. I felt a lot more accomplished because I didn't have all this extra. Compared to powerlifting, I had 5, 6, 7 years.
Right. Yep.
Maybe 2 years by the time I was down there in September.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, you and strength, man, just go together like peas in a pod. That's incredible. Winning IFA after 2 years, a few months in the sport. I mean, that's remarkable. I don't know if there's ever been a hotter run than that. All right, next up, I want to know, actually, relevant question. You've had a lot of success. What do you think sets you apart? Is it your training, your nutrition? Is it just all genetics, recovery? What do you think is the key to all the success you've had so early?
I mean, I think it's a combination of everything. I think the biggest thing is discipline is one of the biggest things.
Yep.
Just ability to do what you gotta do, and just continue to do it, day after day, over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Nutrition is a big key. I think I am. I think I am gifted with genetics in certain areas.
No doubt.
Same, remember the first time I lifted a weight, I couldn't lift. I got crushed by 70 pounds.
Yeah.
I thought I weighed 220.
Right. So it's not.
It's, my opinion with genetics is as long as you're you're healthy, you're walking, you got good genetics. You got no excuse, you know what I mean?
I think that's a good mindset to have. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of that, Eric Komar, gentleman. Speaking of IFA, he was one of my opponents. I think he was my second opponent.
Okay.
Left hand or first. The dude's he's in a wheelchair and he wheels up to the table and he picks himself up and he arm wrestles in open class.
Yeah.
So just stuff like that. It frustrates me when you hear some bodybuilder say, dude's he's got a six pack and you hear him say, "I got bad genetics. I can't get bigger this way."
Yeah.
I think that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I had a similar experience, left-handed IFA. I pulled a gentleman, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he only had one arm, and...
his last name is Hope.
Okay, yeah, yep, that sounds right. And he was a monster. I mean, he's super duper strong, so... Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. You got to put the time in, you got to put the work in, and if they can do it, anyone can do it. So that's the beauty of this sport. How about nutrition? How dialed in is that for you? I mean, are you counting every calorie? Do you do meal prep?